Folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and we're about to take a look back at the reviews I did a year ago, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago, and tell you what I think about those games today and see how things have changed. So first, we're going to go back a year to 2016. First, I reviewed Stinker, which was really hard not to make the obvious pun about this game. This was a game where you flipped over letters. Someone would ask a question, and you would make a funny answer with your letters. So it was creativity stifled by the letters that you had, and then you pass the letters to the next person, so on. It was okay. I mean, for me, these creativity things where you answer a funny question with a funny answer is fine. Then you add the letters, and it just didn't jive for me, although I'm sure some people will enjoy it. The Infinite board game. This is a version of the Peace Pack. I said it was okay. None of the games really grabbed me. The Peace Pack itself, while nice, didn't really do much for me. But you notice I lowered my rating, and that's because the Pyramid Arcade, Ice House Pyramid Arcade came out, and that kicks the Peace Pack around the block. It really does. It smashes it. No way should anyone own a Peace Pack when you can own Ice House Pyramid, which just really does a better job, has amazing components, and some actual really fun games. I also took a look at the Battle Lore monsters. These were, I think, the giant and a couple other monsters that you could add to Battle Lore. Of course, I think Battle Lore 2nd Edition is fantastic. Having the monsters in makes it even better. Sam and I took a look at Walled City. Now, this one, this one has gotten very little buzz, but this has some really cool mechanisms as you're working together to build up a city and playing cards, and has a little bit of area, well, not a little bit, but some decent area control as you're figuring out where to put everything. There's two different sides to the board, too, so both give a very different experience. Just a very cool game, Walled City. Also, Pixel Tactics Deluxe, the nice box, all the new cards. I like Pixel Tactics. Of course, it has gone from a small deck of cards you could slide into your pocket to now a big box with Pixel Tactics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus extra special things. But this brought dividers and everything, allows you to keep your collection of Pixel Tactics in working order. And I also took a look at the Archaeology card game. This is the new version that came from Z-Man Games, which was just phenomenal. Archaeology, the card game, I think is always a great game, but this is one I find myself constantly saying, hey, let's play it again. Let's try this one out again. Let's play this game, this simple game of collecting sets of cards, of artifacts, and so on. Highly, highly recommend it. All right, 4 more years to 5 years ago, 2012. First, Melody and I took a look at Triz. Now, this game, unbelievably, still does not have an entry at BoardGameGeek.com, which is weird. I couldn't find it there. It's a tile-laying game where you're trying to get colors next to each other. Me and Melody both thought it was horrific. Then the Wizard Museum Construction Kit. This was a fun idea, right? As you are making a museum and you are building the museum, and together it was just a convoluted mess, unfortunately, and has thus been forgotten. Rex. 5 years since I played Rex. Rex was the reworking of Dune in the Twilight Imperium universe. Okay, they couldn't get the Dune license again, but the game was great. The game is great. However, it's pretty long. It probably doesn't fit the Twilight Imperium universe as well as it could. It's a nice version of the game. The game is fine and plays well, but it really needed that Dune kick to it. And even if you had the Dune kick to it, it's still, you really need a full complement of players in a long time. It needs specific conditions for it to work. String Railway. Well, this game I liked, but they re-released it a few years later, so my rating has gone up because the new version just was really nice. As you're connecting different cities to each other with train tracks, many games have you building tiles between them. This one lets you use a string, and you can maneuver it any way you want. It's nice, it's visceral, it's cool, it looks neat, and it does something that most games don't allow you to do. It doesn't make you conform to a board. If you can make the string fit somehow, it works. And then we have Manhattan. I reviewed Manhattan by myself because it hadn't been reviewed before. I want to talk about this classic game. It's a great tower building game. I really, really enjoy it still today. All right, 10 years ago, back in 2007, I reviewed 2 games this week. One was Hamelin, which was a game from the Fragor Brothers, and this was one of the first disappointing games for me from them. The Pied Piper of Hamelin is a very cool idea. And this game has some really neat pieces, but in the long run, there was not very many interesting choices. It just wasn't that good of a game, and I fear I might have given it an extra point just because I like the pieces so much. Then there was the Pink Godzilla Development Kit. This is a little card game about making video games. It's kind of an unfortunate name, right? Because That's a forgettable name. It sounds like a cheap game, and the game even looked cheap, right? It came in these little tuck box things with cards. But the idea of making your own video game and playing the right cards at the right time actually did work well, and I think this one might not be bad. I would like to see a reprint revision of this game with a slightly less mouthful of a name. Well, folks, those are all the games that I took a look at last year, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago, and what I think about them now. Thanks for joining me in this Look Back. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and this has been Look Back on the Dice Tower.